News Services Division of All India Radio presents Northeast Diary. Good evening. Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary. Here we bring you the latest developments from India's unexplored Northeast region. It goes without saying that the culture and rituals of this region are varied and unique. Today, we will talk about Lady Crow, which is a group of like-minded women from Kohima village who teach the Naga culture and tradition to young people. But first, let us take you to the much-awaited and celebrated Hornbill Festival which is being held in Nagaland. As part of the recently held 23rd Hornbill Festival 2022, a stone pulling ceremony was held at Mezoma village under Kohima district on December 6th to commemorate 142 years of Anglo-Naga Peace Treaty. More from our Kohima correspondent.
Thousands of men folk from the Angami tribesmen of Mezoma village took part in the stone pulling ceremony held at Mezoma to commemorate 142 years of Anglo-Naga Peace Treaty made on 27 March 1880 at Mezoma village under Kohima district. Mr. T. Khatsa, an elder from Mezoma village, shares on the significance of the stone pulling.
Stone pulling signifies maybe history and incident. But particularly today in Mezoma, stone pulling ceremony is in commemoration of the 142 years of Anglo-Naga Treaty conducted in the year 1880 on the 27th March. Otherwise, in general, stone pulling is a Naga, especially Angami Naga's tradition signifying any type of history.
The stone pulling ceremony is a practice of the Angami Naga tribe where a huge stone is pulled to a certain location to be erected as monoliths to commemorate any jubilant occasions. For Northeast Diary, this is Asonyo from AIR News, Kohima.
In India, mental health disorders often remain hidden as there is a lack of education and awareness concerning psychological disorders. Meghalaya recently became the first state in the Northeast and the third in the country to have such a policy. A report.
Meghalaya Cabinet recently passed its first ever mental health and social care policy, which aims to promote overall mental health and well-being and facilitate appropriate access and care. This policy is part of a sensitive public health approach adopted by the state for providing mental, psychological and social care for the residents. As part of the Meghalaya State Health Policy launched in May 2021, a holistic life cycle approach is being adopted for encouraging preventive and promotive healthcare, along with upholding the curative and enabling dimensions. With the pandemic highlighting the need to devise an inclusive and robust institutional response, especially for vulnerable groups, this effort by the state government towards improving the psychological and overall social well-being of the public. This policy takes into consideration the social determinants of mental ill health and cultural security, which will be facilitated through collaborative engagement with communities to promote equitable mental health and social care for all. The policy will be implemented through convergence across departments and policies while strengthening human resources and community institutions, including financial support and infrastructure. State Health Minister James P.K. Sangma shares some of the features of the Meghalaya mental health and social care policy.
We are right now, MIMHANS or other institutions are doing their best, but they need the kind of support that is required from the government. We need a lot more to tackle mental health issues. Something as simple as depression. A lot of people don't even realize that depression is a mental health issue. I could be having it, you could be having it, and not realize that we are going through depression. So a lot needs to be done, especially going down right to the grassroots. We need to really have a system whereby we provide the care pathways, which means that anyone who feels that he's having problems can immediately go to the first point where they can talk to psychiatrists or counselors.
Meghalaya's mental health and social care policy is a result of iteration with several stakeholders. This process involves all concerned departments and agencies in the context of mental health. Besides Meghalaya, Kerala and Karnataka are the other two states in the country to have such policies. This is Rustam Fornodezari from AIR News, Shillong.
Mr. Khogolumpul, a beekeeper at Namsai district of Arunachal Pradesh, is setting an example of becoming Atmanirbhar and vocal for local. Here is a report.
On many occasions, our compulsion becomes our hobby and later becomes our source of livelihood. Same has happened with Khogolumpul from Lohit district in Arunachal Pradesh. Khogolumpul, an asthma patient, started beekeeping in 2007. Pure honey is believed to be beneficial in asthma disease. People in this part rarely take up beekeeping commercially, so it was hard to find pure honey in the market abundantly. This compelled Mr. Pool to start rearing bees at his backyard. This later turned into his hobby, and now he has taken up beekeeping commercially. He says there is a huge demand for honey, but none in his area has done before him.
मैंने beekeeping शुरू किया 2007 में. अस्थमा पेशेंट हूँ, तो बी का बारे में बहुत सुना हमने. अस्थमा में लोग हनी खाने से उसका शरीर बहुत तंदुरुस्त रहता है, दिमाग ठीक रहता है. सबसे मैंने ये बी कीपिंग करना शुरू किया. यहाँ का जो एपिस इंडिका बोलता है, शिराना इंडिका, हम लोग को लोकल भारतीय मधुमक्खी बोलता है, उसको मैंने पालन करना शुरू किया. तो आस्ते आस्ते ऐसे करके करके फिर हमको और इंटरेस्ट लगा. तो फिर मैंने 2018 से जोरहाट से मैंने 3 बॉक्स एपिस मेलेफेरा लेके आया. तो उसको डिवाइड करके मैंने अभी तक 17-18 बॉक्स बना. अगर आप कलेक्शन करता है तो उसमें आपको सेल करने को कोई ज्यादा घूमने की कोई जरूरत नहीं. बस घर में बैठे बैठे सब आ जाता है. लोकल में ही सब कुछ खत्म हो जाता है. लास्ट ईयर मेरा प्रोडक्शन कम से कम 60 kg का था, क्योंकि लोकल हनी के बारे में सब लोग जानते हैं, रॉ हनी के बारे में जानते हैं वाला लोग तो उसको बहुत लाभदायक मानते हैं. बाजार से तो बहुत अलग है. ये हमारे लोकल में ही खत्म हो जाता है. घर बैठे बैठे सब कुछ खुद आके ले जाते हैं.
As pollinators, bee plays a very important part in every aspect of the ecosystem. They support the growth of trees, flowers and crops, which serve as food and shelter for every creature, large and small. Mr. Poole says that by taking up apiculture at a commercial level, youths can not only make themselves self-sufficient financially, but also will contribute toward a larger cause of protecting the environment. For Northeast Diary, this is Rakesh Tole, AIR News, Itanagar.
In Mizoram, development and improvement of road communication has reached a new height. Currently, construction of several important roadways is underway with speed and pace. All these new roads and highways are going to develop the internal and external connectivity infrastructure to a greater extent. We have a report.
Construction of 3 more national highways is presently undergoing. Officials said that the construction of National Highway 502A is being executed under the Act East policy, and this will establish a road-cum-trade link between India and Myanmar. Officials said that 913-kilometer long national highway will benefit both countries largely in economical and cultural point of view. Another important roadway project is the widening of NH44A, which will establish a highway between Mizoram and Tripura. This project is expected to be completed by this year. Chief Engineer of National Highways of State Public Works Department, C. Lalthwana, said that
with the major development scheme for road construction project coming up, national highways such as NH 502A, NH 44A, NH 150, NH2, NH 306A, NH 154, now NH 6 have been constructed, connecting different villages and districts. Several ongoing construction and completed projects will boost the economy of the society. A massive road infrastructure development in the state would yield multiplier effect on development. It has shown the immediate positive effect that road construction have on employment, especially in rural areas, and state manufacturing growth. With the presence of national highway, it can now save time and oil consumption is reduced significantly. Now, road development changed the lifestyle of the people, and it helps the economy, education and lifestyle of the people.
Meanwhile, with a large section of NH44A from Mamit district to Aizawl being completed, the time to reach Aizawl from Mamit has been reduced to 3 hours. Earlier, it took 5 hours to reach Aizawl from Mamit. According to local people, it has saved their time and fuel costs and also excels economic activities. Officials further informed that the National Highway Infrastructure Development Corporation is currently working in the state for improvement and construction of over 700-kilometer national highways and 4 important highways. Also under the Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana, rural connectivity is witnessing a big push. Last year, 14 rural habitations were connected by new roads with a length of 210 kilometers. According to officials, several highways along the remote areas like Sampai Zokhothar, Klabung Korpuithwa, Thumkhum, Tongte and Serthi Buarpui have also been developed. For Northeast Diary with Subhashis Chanda, Irene from Aizawl.
In a democratic country like India, women empowerment has been given the main thrust so that women can get their basic rights and dignity in life. One of the steps towards achieving this goal is the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013, implemented in India. In remote districts of Manipur, the district administration has been working to set up the ICC under the Act in workplaces. A report from our Imphal correspondent.
The Sexual Harassment of Women Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013 has been implemented in India. Under the Act, setting up of the Internet Complaint Committee (ICC) is compulsory in every establishment, whether it may be government or non-government, but having more than 10 employees. However, even after 9 years of enforcing the Act, many found setting up an ICC remained a neglected issue in many places. In such a juncture, the district administration of Ukhrul district of Manipur has decided to set up ICC in those required establishments located within its jurisdiction in a short period. Speaking to AIR News, the Deputy Commissioner of Ukhrul District, Kumar, said that
we are planning to have a meeting with all the district level officials and instructions are going to be given to constitute this internal complaint committee so that whatever grievances are come to that committee, within 90 days of period, inquiry can be made and action can be taken within 60 days.
On the other hand, the one-stop center situated at Ukhrul district headquarters also conducting sensitization program on sexual harassment of women at workplace as well as on domestic violence from time to time. While interacting with AIR News, the administrator of Ukhrul Sakhi One-Stop Center, Chonchui Rinmayo Luithui, said that most of the complaints received so far are related to domestic violence. Even so, the center is also monitoring any occurrence of the sexual harassment cases in the workplace. JJ Thoksom, AIR News, Northeast Diary, Imphal.
Vice President Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar along with his wife Dr. Srimati Sudesh Dhankar visited Tripura on the 29th of November. A report from our Agartala correspondent.
During the visit, the Vice President attended a seminar organized as part of the 75th Foundation Day of the state's oldest college, Maharaja Veer Bikram College at Agartala. In his address, Mr. Dhankar said that education is the only vehicle to bring change in a society. Encouraging students get there, Vice President said India is rising in every sector of education and the rise is unstoppable.
India is on the rise as never before. We are registering progress the world has never seen before. Our rise is unstoppable. Tripura is part of the city. Only a few months back, we became the 5th largest global economy and bringing home our erstwhile colonial rulers. By the end of this decade, we will be the 3rd largest global economy. All this on one count, our human genius, our education. And that is why we salute the vision of the Prime Minister, who after 34 years thought it twice and rightly so, to have a new national education policy. And you cannot imagine, inputs were secured from lakhs of sources. All stakeholders were on board, and this national education policy is a milestone achievement, a game changer. This allows everyone to exploit talent and potential to the best of ability.
During his visit, the Vice President and his wife visited the famous Tripura Sundari temple at Udaipur on the Gomati district. For Northeast Diary, this is Reena Nomaitem from Agartala.
In our Personality of the Week segment, we bring you an interview on Lady Crow, which is a group of like-minded women from Kohima village who teach the Naga culture and tradition to young people. The interview has been conducted by Asono.
Lady Crow, a group of like-minded women from different scales of Kohima village, driven by the zeal to preserve the age-old tradition, is doing a commendable job in undertaking the work of reviving beautiful facets of Naga culture. Lady Crow, established in the year 2012, impart weaving traditional headgear, rice pounding and cleaning for young boys and girls, folklore, cultural songs and others. Lady Crow has 8 founding members and around 100 members presently, aim to promote and preserve the rich traditions and culture through various programs and training activities, especially for the youth and children. And what could be more special for Lady Crow when Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself mentioned of this group in Man Ki Baat program this year?
साथियों, नागालैंड में नागा समाज की जीवन शैली, उनकी कला, संस्कृति और संगीत ये हर किसी को आकर्षित करती है। ये हमारे देश की गौरवशाली विरासत का अहम हिस्सा है। नागालैंड के लोगों का जीवन और उनके स्किल्स सस्टेनेबल लाइफस्टाइल के लिए भी बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। इन परंपराओं और स्किल्स को बचाकर अगली पीढ़ी तक पहुंचाने के लिए वहां के लोगों ने एक संस्था बनाई है जिसका नाम है लीडी क्रोयू। नागा संस्कृति के जो खूबसूरत आयाम धीरे धीरे खोने लगे थे, लीडी क्रोयू संस्था ने उन्हें फिर से पुनर्जीवित करने का काम किया है। उदाहरण के तौर पर नागा लोक संगीत अपने आप में एक बहुत समृद्ध विधा है। इस संस्था ने नागा संगीत की एल्बम लॉन्च करने का काम शुरू किया है। अब तक ऐसी 3 एल्बम्स लॉन्च की जा चुकी है। ये लोग लोक संगीत, लोक नृत्य से जुड़ी वर्कशॉप भी आयोजित करते हैं। युवाओं को इन सब चीजों के लिए ट्रेनिंग भी दी जाती है। यही नहीं, नागालैंड की पारंपरिक शैली में कपड़े बनाने, सिलाई, बुनाई जैसे जो काम, उनकी भी ट्रेनिंग युवाओं को दी जाती है। पूर्वोत्तर में बैम्बू से भी कितने ही तरह के प्रोडक्ट्स बनाए जाते हैं। नई पीढ़ी के युवाओं को बैम्बू प्रोडक्ट्स बनाने का भी सिखाया जाता है। इससे इन युवाओं का अपनी संस्कृति से जुड़ाव तो होता ही है, साथ ही उनके लिए रोजगार के नए नए अवसर भी पैदा होते हैं। नागा लोक संस्कृति के बारे में ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग जाने, इसके लिए भी लीडी क्रोयू के लोग प्रयास करते हैं। साथियों, आपके क्षेत्र में भी ऐसी सांस्कृतिक विधाएं और परंपराएं होगी। आप भी अपने अपने क्षेत्र में इस तरह के प्रयास कर सकते हैं। अगर आपकी जानकारी में कहीं ऐसा कोई अनूठा प्रयास हो रहा है तो आप उसकी जानकारी मेरे साथ भी जरूर साझा करिए।
Let's hear from Lady Crow Society as they share their journey. So I'm here with the members of Lady Crow Society. Kindly tell us about your group, Lady Crow. How many members are there in your society?
The Lady Crow is a registered non-profit organization under the Indian Societies Registration Act 1980. It was established in the year 2012 with the aims to promote and preserve our rich traditions and cultures through various programs and training activities especially for the youth and children. We have 8 as founding members, along with almost other 100 members.
What made your society the need to promote and preserve the culture?
At Lady Crow, we strive to impart the knowledge of our rich traditional practices, heritage and culture to the younger generation. We endeavor to preserve our traditional practices, teachings and values that is fast losing significance in this day and age.
We all know Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Mann Ki Baat program been addressed to the people of the entire nation. How do you all feel being mentioned about your society in Mann Ki Baat program?
The Lady Crow Society, Kohima Village, would like to thank our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi for featuring us in his Mann Ki Baat program. We thank the Prime Minister for recognition and for sharing our story with the whole country. The Lady Crow Society would like to thank our Prime Minister for empowering and uplifting the rural areas and for his continued efforts and promotion of our rich culture heritage. The feature in Mann Ki Baat is a huge moral booster, and we will continue to promote, teach and pass on our culture and tradition to the younger generations.
Your activities includes various programs and training to the children and youth. Kindly share more with us. Do you frequently organize such activities?
The Lady Crow Society has been carrying out various projects and conducting various programs as per the aims and objectives of the society to promote and preserve our rich culture. The society has produced multiple music albums and also produced a short documentary. The society has also partnered and collaborated with the various NGOs to promote our culture and traditions. Various trainings have also been conducted from time to time to impart traditional values and pass on knowledge about our rich cultural heritage. The Lady Crow Society has performed at various government functions and programs conducted by various organizations. The society intends to continue and conduct and execute various projects and programs to preserve and promote our culture.
Your group have been participating in the Hornbill Festival since last year. Kindly tell us more on this.
During the 2021 edition of the Hornbill Festival, various activities such as traditional headgear weaving, cultural experiences, folk songs and folk tales, narration were conducted by the society at JK Zoo from 1st to 4th December. During the 4 days, Lady Crow hosted scores of tourists, both local and foreign. Delegates from the tour guide conclave held in Kohima were also hosted. The program under the banner Promotion and Preservation of Traditional Skills and Knowledge will be regular events during the Hornbill Festival.
Apart from the various programs and projects of the society, the Lady Crow have also performed at various platforms to share with the world and culture and promote our rich tradition and heritage. Apart from these, the Lady Crow also collectively practices both terrace and gem cultivation in order to preserve the traditional practices and also document the various processes and steps involved in planting different types of indigenous plants and vegetables.
Your word of encouragement to our young listeners from across the country.
We wanted to convey to all young people that even if you received good educations, there is a need to learn our own culture and tradition, which is now fading away. Therefore, we urged you all to come forward and take the initiative of preserving our rich cultural heritage before it is too late.
Thank you all, Lady Crow Society. Wishing you all the best for your initiatives and hope that through your society, more youngsters will join in and learn about our culture and traditions.
Sikkim's traditional Lepcha hats offer a myriad of stories. Worn by the Lepcha tribe, considered the original residents of the state, the hats are unique in craftsmanship as well as use of natural resources. A report.
Lepcha hats, which are an essential part of the attire of Sikkim's indigenous Lepcha tribe, are primarily made from cane, bamboo and other locally available resources, such as bird feather and other plants. Different types of hats have a variety of uses, from being used as a helmet to their use as a shield from the sun and rain, and so on. But all of them symbolize the Lepcha tribe's close proximity to nature. The knots in the hats may depict sub-tribes, while shapes and patterns on them may classify a person's social status. Gangtok-based senior journalist Nita Niraj shares the journey of Lepcha hats, which have not undergone major changes over generations.
Lepchas, the indigenous tribals of Sikkim, have a unique culture of their own, including attire. The inhabitants of Jangu, North Sikkim, a protected area, have been using cane, bamboo for food, making houses and of course hats. Lepcha traditional hat made of cane, bamboo and cotton, sometimes silken cloth or woolen cloth, has not undergone many changes. The traditional hat making technique and skills earlier passed on from generation to generation orally resemble some other headgears used in Asian countries. The Lepcha hats and technique, part of Sikkim's tangible heritage, are also a source of history of the tribe. Traditionally, the Lepchas had different types of hats for the chiefs and leaders. One was called Somok Theatuk. Kings and village chiefs wore Somok Theatuk with exclusive decoration by the artisans depicting the sun and the moon. It was recognized as a royal insignia and symbol of status with a peacock feather and mica on the front part. The Lepcha chief Thekung Tek, who is said to have signed a blood brotherhood treaty with Khe Bumsa, ancestor of later Bhutia kings of Sikkim, is always portrayed wearing Somok Theatuk. Presently, the minister wear this type of hat. The Lepcha traditional hat for common people, farmers, hunters, fishermen and others is called papri. Papri is not easy to make. The Lepcha hats had different shapes for different categories of people, like hunters wore oval shaped hat while farmers wore pyramid shape. Many others were happy with round shape. The hats made using velvet cloth and decorated with beads in a later stage were taken to indicate subcastes of Lepchas. The bead knob at the top signified power and might of the person wearing it. Presently, only 2 experts have been pursuing the art. One in Jangu itself and other one identified by state government to skill some youth so that the technique is preserved. However, getting the Lepcha hat registered under geographical indication is still awaited.
Lepcha hats were also used as the headgear of royal soldiers and Sikkim guards during the Chogyal regime. Today, these hats are worn at religious programs, marriage ceremonies and festivals and continue to be an important part of the tribe's identity. This is Saikia Sarkar for AIN News Sikkim.
And now, let us listen to this soulful rendition from Assam's youthful singer, Sanidhya Bhuya. With that, we have come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear more stories from this enchanting part of India. Bye-bye. This program was presented by Nishit Kumar, scripted by Suparna Saikia, produced by Sharmila Goswami, and assisted by Sarika Bhardwaj. It was brought to you by the News Services Division of All India Radio.